let's get it up front. Ultimately, I'm here, and I want to thank Joseph, by 3D Repo. You know, that's why I'm here, to tell you that something has changed, that collaboration is completely different, and data is so massively important that if you're not thinking, using, planning, accelerating to use at least something that looks like 3D Repo, but of course Joseph will take half of the market, you need to rethink. That's what I would like to discuss later on the panel. And why I'm saying that, I'm going to try to spend 8 minutes just going quickly through that. Is that all right, Joseph? Am I saying the right thing? So first, yeah, I spend a lot of time leading the digital transformation of Bureau Happold, but today I chose to represent myself so I can actually say what I think, and everything that is attributed that I say can offend, it's not offending Bureau Happold anymore. Also gives you a little bit of background. I spent my time, I came from automotive, I spend my time incubating company and trying to agitate, and every so often I get called in to agitate even more and help companies with their digital transformation. But really a lot of fun, and a lot of things that I've learned came from the journey that Bureau Happold did in the last 4 years. As I'm the first speaker, I have the right to ask that question. Can we always remember, right, when we're doing this thing, and I think Ollie just mentioned it, you know, something has changed, and we really cannot underestimate that this has changed. Every morning, remember that, you know, it is different. You know, we blasé about this slide is old, etc. This is fundamentally different from when we woke up only a few years back. We are living in the fourth industrial revolution. That means something. If I try to explain it, it's Sylvia Serres, which I invite you to Google, talks about the 12 Gutenberg moments, and we know what one achieved for European society. Think about what 12 are achieving, and I deliberately stacked on the left all those that are affecting us, the built asset environment. Somebody might even argue that biotech, and we'll be able to grow buildings soon, and the genetics. Anyway, let's move on. We live in a science fiction world. That is the message. Just wait long enough, and it's not that long, and what is science fiction is reality at scale. We must dream big, because otherwise you're shooting for the wrong thing. You are building for something that's happening. You know, it takes 3 or 4 years to change and start building things, and by that time, something that was impossible has become possible. End of rant. The subject today, being invited by Joseph, is obviously, you know, what if we look at collaboration? Just with that mindset, you know, collaboration in BIM, we've had 10 years of that stuff. That is collaboration, apparently, and then we translate that stuff in all sorts of diagrams, and we build that kind of stuff out of it. So it's great. It's great, it works, but tell me, in the generation of tech, what do you think that stuff represents? For me, it's somewhere like here. Are we really dreaming in the future? Are we really using the tech? Are we just doing the same old way, but instead of doing it on a tablet like the Egyptians did it, we do it on a tablet like Steve Jobs wants you to do it, which is an iPad, you know, from tablet to tablet, but we've changed nothing. So what would collaboration work in a digital world? I think that's what we need to wake up and ask ourselves, and hopefully, you know, the guys are going to come and talk about that in the panel. We can, of course, we should. We know that, so I think it's about data. We don't necessarily know this. I think this is a really brilliant study by Box that shows why it takes so long in our industry. The information map, the collaboration patterns that we are trying to encode are fundamentally different from any other industry. I was in automotive, I understood when we could put Oracle to work, it was fantastic, but it's not agile enough. It can't cope with our complexity. We are different. So a couple of years ago, we started doing cool stuff. This is the guys at Bureau Happold. What happens when you connect stuff across the cloud? And this was like dream completely crazy. So this guy is in Beijing, by the way. So this is a guy that's connected a Kinect to the room, and he's walking in the room, and he's digitizing and creating Dynamo Man, and Dynamo Man is walking through the cloud between Robot and Revit, and then you can start pushing things across the cloud. Here we have the BH office and the San Francisco office, and they're moving the stadium design and automatically recalculating through the cloud what is happening in terms of the fitness parameters. And we're doing that live across the world 3 years ago. And then you say, okay, let's start to be reasonable for a minute. Let's actually start using this for some good stuff. So this is, stream data from buildings, because if you are an engineer, you're an owner, you want to stream data and start using that data at scale and collaborate around the data. Collaborate with the owner, get the precedence data. That's worked. And of course, this is highly theoretical until you wake up one morning and you talk to Brian Ringley at WeWork, or you talk to Daniel Davis at WeWork, and they go, oh yeah, we did that. And it was really interesting. By the time we got 50 offices, we could machine learn. The architect was 40% worse. And yeah, now we're building offices at scale through generative design that is optimized through the data that we've collected across every single office that we built. So it's much better. So, some people say, wow, they're a unicorn and they've made loads of money, and that's more the startup view of the world. The others could say, actually, wow, this is not theoretical anymore. Collaboration gets you somewhere. In this case, a greater yield, but it could be a better outcome. And this is not like, oh my God, this is the future, Star Wars, etc. This is how WeWork accelerated away 3 years ago. So, just to conclude, the CDE is not a common document environment where you shift files. It should be something that's completely collaborative. It's a data ecosystem. I'm not quite sure whether it's Speckle, 3D repo, certainly, API-based. It's connected to the real world, and it's somewhere in the cloud, for sure. That's what it looks like. And in the end, with that new ecosystem, we're going to really free the data and get some cool stuff done. And I'm now inviting the next guy to explain what that cool stuff might be.